It's time now for the press review here on France 24. Joining me for a look at what's making headlines in the international newspapers is our press reviewer, Caterina Vitozzi.
Hello.
Caterina, an exclusive in the Wall Street Journal that is looking at the way the Syrian government's still trying to make money despite all these international sanctions.
Yeah, this is a really interesting in-depth report by the Wall Street Journal, as you say, looking at what they say is correspondence from top Syrian officials to some unnamed firms, and what they're trying to do is to sell oil. Now, oil isn't a great money maker for the Syrian government, but what they want to sell. The big question, this is what the Wall Street Journal article says, is how do they circumnavigate sanctions put in place by some Western countries and some Middle Eastern countries that say, banning all trade between Syria and other countries. So what these letters show, according to the journal, is in fact that Syria has signed 11 oil contracts since the beginning of the year. It says that these letters suggest that money they make from these sales are being put in Russian banks. Of course, Russia's always been,
very close ally.
A very, very close ally. I mean, it doesn't say that the Russian government, are kind of backing these attempts to use Russian bank accounts, but it's a very interesting look that suggests that the Syrian regime, perhaps down, but certainly not out. They're still trying to find ways to finance.
They're still managing to bring in some cash.
Yeah.
Life after the Syrian regime, we have to emphasise, is something that's being discussed by Israeli paper Haaretz. I guess they're hopeful that that might come soon.
Yeah, well, this is a look by the editor-in-chief, in fact, of the Israeli Daily. He's not so much looking at what the political fallout would be if the Syrian regime did fall, but he says that revolutions allow journalists to have a real insight into diplomatic secrets. He says that this is a chance to have a look in the president's top drawer, if you will, and to find out answers to some questions he's been wanting to pose. He gives his top 10 things he would want to know. Among them, he wants to know, did Syria really build a nuclear reactor? What was North Korea's involvement? What was the fallout after? Who leaked the secret to the US and Israeli authorities? So he says there would be plenty to discover from a route about in President Assad's office.
Now we're going to the US, and Republican duo Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. They're making waves on the campaign trail there.
Absolutely. Although this new Republican ticket was announced on Saturday, in fact, so many international papers still looking at this new look Republican duo. The International Herald Tribune, an opinion piece there called Ryan providing bold to Mitt's bland. In fact, they compare Paul Ryan to a Cadillac. They say that he was a really shiny, bold, all-American pick, someone who kind of would add some sharp edges to perhaps some of that slightly fuzzy policies that Romney has.
What's Romney then, a Mondeo? Or?
Oh, I don't know, a kind of a beaten-up Ford Escort. But conversely, the fact that Paul Ryan comes across as so conservative does make him quite an easy target for the Obama camp. There's a cartoon in the Tribune as well saying that he's a great pick for both sides. Obama, he's an easy target. He's so right wing, but for Romney, we love him because he could lead him to the White House.
Complimentary couple. Talking about couples, one in Suffolk have suddenly found themselves a lot richer.
Oh, I love this story. It's so fantastic. Adrian and Gillian from Haverhill in Suffolk, they scooped £148 million in Euro Millions. You see them on the front page of The Guardian there. They say it's not going to change them. I think if I won that amount, it probably would change me. However, The Independent then has a closer look at the couples who've won over the past couple of years, perhaps. How did it change them? They always said it won't change us. But a Scottish couple, interesting to look, they netted more than £160 million last year. Been getting involved in charity work, recently bought a prosthetic leg for a boy in Darlington.
Oh, that's fantastic. Great news. Thanks very much, Caterina Vitozzi. That was the press review. Stay tuned to France 24.